Hello. Hey, this is Johnny Beane. Yo, I'm in here today with David Nesdall.
Hey!
Although David's in New York, he's not actually in here, and I'm not there. Where I am, it's actually 75 degrees and sunny.
Uh,
Where he is, it's like 9 or something.
it's very cold.
Well, cool, man. Cool. Anyway, uh,
34 degrees, 34 degrees, and sunny.
30, 34 degrees and sunny in New York somewhere. So yeah, so Dave, so you want to talk about these things, huh?
Yeah, yeah, they're very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. They are the EVH striped series guitars.
Hmm.
I happen to have this one, which I like, which I'll talk about. David, which one do you have?
I have my black and yellow with me right at the moment, but I also have a black and white Van Halen one, and I have a star. So
Nice,
yeah,
nice. Yeah, I played one of those stars last night.
yeah, that's cool.
Actually, there's a Guitar Center in San Jose that has one in stock, and it's on. I don't know if it said clearance. I took a photo. There's a photo posted on my guitarist Johnny Beane page. I posted last night, but it said it was a 8.99.
That's a good price. Because I think they're 12.99, aren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah. They're expensive. Well, for what they are, they're expensive.
Um, yeah, I don't know if it was used. I don't think so. Although the action was pretty high on it, it
Hmm.
could have used a good setup and stuff. But yeah, yeah, I played one of those, and then I played one of the standards.
Hmm.
The Indonesia standards.
Wolfgang standard.
Yeah, the Wolfgang standard. I played the gloss black one, and that neck it has a great neck on it. I actually like that neck better than the neck on the star. You know.
Hmm.
But anyway, so who wants to go first? Do you want to talk about your guitar, or should I talk about mine?
Talk about yours.
Okay, this is the one I have. It's oops, sorry, the circles, crop circles, Unchained, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's a really cool design, and it's like an actual design that Eddie had. Back in 1981. The reason people call it the Unchained is because there's footage of Van Halen playing a few songs at the Oakland uh, arena back in '81, and on the song Unchained, he's playing, this guitar. So that's why people call it that. um, and of course, everybody knows, or at least a few people know that guitar turned into the Rasta guitar. You know, later on, it was repainted. He repainted it. Um, you know, But anyway, so yeah, so mine has Floyd Rose. I have an actual German Floyd, D Tuna, black Wolfgang pickup. I mean, most of these, well, all of them, they come with like a cream colored pickup. I changed mine to black just to switch it around, just to be different. I changed the knob to a jazz, bass knob, otherwise, known as MXR knob. Uh, what else? Changed the nut, I believe. The nut was changed to a German Floyd. I mean, not nothing wrong with the other Floyds. I dig them. It's just I stuck all the stuff from this guitar onto another guitar that I have. Here's the back. I don't know if you can see it. It says "Bye later, see ya." Has a Floyd Rose big block right there. Really cool. And oh yeah, and I stuck these things on here for the Van Halen effect. You know,
Yeah.
You won't sound like Eddie unless you have these straps on your guitar. That's the secret,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
you know.
like the special sauce.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so that's that, and the reason I got this one, because actually the one you're holding, that's the one that I would have got if
Right.
they hadn't released this one. I would have got the yellow and black. Um, but the reason I got this one is because at the time when I got it, not too many people had them. So I thought, oh, I'll get the one not everybody's playing, and now a bunch of people have them, a bunch of people playing them. And then also I figured this was one guitar I could actually play out, actually play shows with, and most people would not know it's an Eddie Van Halen guitar, and they wouldn't be yelling, "Hey, play Eruption" or whatever. Like I could actually just play this out, and people would be like, "Oh, that's a cool looking guitar. I could play whatever on it." I wouldn't be called Van Halen or be called, Eddie or whatever, which I'd rather not. Believe it or not, I'd rather not be called that. Thank you.
Okay,
Hey,
Eddie.
yeah, yeah. So hey, how's your guitar? What's
It's here. It is. Um, it's the black and yellow, of course, Van Halen 2 guitar by EVH brand. This one's pretty light. Like I said, I own a few of these. I have also the black and white, and I have the star guitar. But this one's a pretty lightweight one. Um, it's very resonant. They're not all they're not they're not all equal, and I feel like I got pretty lucky with this one. I changed the Floyd Rose to a German Floyd Rose. I put a DiMarzio 36th anniversary PAF in it, and it is on a pickup ring, so it looks like the original one that Eddie had. Uh, it also sounds great. I like the sound of this pickup. I have this pickup in a lot of my guitars.
mm-hmm.
Uh, I have a Floyd Rose 37 millimeter big brass block on it, which you can't see unfortunately, but it's in there. What else did I do to this guitar? I put the eye hooks in as well because all my guitars have eye hooks. And I actually love this guitar. The reason why I chose to buy this guitar is because, quite frankly, I didn't want to build it. I didn't want to build one. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have a wall filled with replica Van Halen guitars, most of them that I build, and I didn't want to build this one, and it was cheaper to just buy the EVH brand, and I actually got lucky. This one's a real good one, and I enjoy playing it. So there you go on this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's black. It's like black and yellow, or is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's absolutely black and yellow. Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard to tell. Like sometimes that guitar kind of looks like it maybe like a really dark blue.
Dark blue. So does the Unchained guitar, the one you have. Also, there's a lot of controversy around the original one. Some people think that it's dark blue and white, and others think that it's black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh, that's why you see some replicas people built way back in the day,
yeah,
and it looks like it's dark blue because maybe they used a dark blue.
correct. And a buddy of mine swears that it's dark blue, but I mean the EVH brand one is black and white, so it leads me to believe that the guitar was originally black and white. I think that all the photos from the '80s, from the early '80s, that were taken of that guitar, I think it was just the lighting that made it look blue. I think it's a black and white guitar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like most of these guitars. None of the original ones were actually finished.
Right.
You know, like these have finish on them, and glossy, like you can see like the light,
Oh yeah,
shiny
absolutely.
or
Yep.
whatever. You know.
Well, the original black and yellow guitar that's buried with Dimebag Darrell is also glossy because it came from Charvel. Charvel made that guitar for Eddie Van Halen, and it was a glossy guitar. They had finish on it. That's one of the only guitars that Eddie Van Halen used from the original guitars that were glossy.
Mm-hmm.
So this looks more like the original one because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and like I was saying about this one, or the original one at least, everybody knows it was later turned into what people call the Rasta.
Correct.
It was painted, repainted, and like this one was played on the '81 Fair Warning tour
Mm-hmm.
as either a backup guitar or it was used for certain songs. Like Unchained or whatever. Well, some people think like this guitar was like it was like tuned down, like already, but you can hear him tuning down even before they even start the song. You can hear him like dropping the D with this is before they had, the D tunas.
Mm-hmm.
But you can hear him like watch the video and you actually hear him, well, I can't do it because I got this thing on here, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now I'm out of tune. But and then when it was repainted as the Rasta, it was used on the Diver Down.
Yes, and it was used very sparingly. He never really liked that guitar. It was very heavy. The body was made out of mahogany, and it was 2 inches thick. Whereas these guitars, at its thickest point, is an inch and 3/4 from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine a thicker body, 2 inches thick, of mahogany. It's going to be a heavy guitar, and that's what that guitar was. And the reason why Eddie chose to use a 2-inch thick body was because at that time he thought those Floyd Roses made his guitar sound a little thin, so he wanted to compensate with a thicker piece of wood. And he decided that he did not like the way that guitar sounded, and eventually gave it to Dweezil Zappa.
Yeah, and there's footage of it in the like unreleased footage of I believe of the Jump video and from the Panama videos. There's footage of him. They actually did several takes where a roadie comes and throws a guitar case. He comes and knocks on Eddie's dressing room door and throws a case in the door in the room, and Eddie comes walking out with the Rasta.
Yes.
Yeah. And like it wasn't like put together, like the neck falls off the body or whatever. Is that what the footage it was?
Yeah. Well, I think what he did was he pushed the neck off the body, which was already unscrewed, but he made it look like he broke the neck off and threw the neck and body outside the door. And at that time, the headstock on that guitar was painted like the body. So that was another thing that a lot of people thought that Dweezil Zappa had painted the headstock after Eddie Van Halen gave him the guitar. That's not true. Eddie Van Halen painted the headstock somewhere late in '82 or maybe even in '83.
Yeah, 83. Yeah, I don't know what I said. Did I say 82 or yeah, those videos.
Well, it was played in '82. I guess the video was made in '83.
It was played in '82. The video was made in '83 because yeah, you can see footage of Eddie getting out of the the limousine or town car, and I believe this was actually for Jump, this footage, but it was never used. Right. Of course, everybody knows the Jump video, and this was like outdoor footage of them getting out of limos, hotel rooms, whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, that footage of him getting out of the limousine, yeah, that was '83 sometime, because you can actually see a Return of the Jedi billboard behind him. and that came out what, May of '83,
Yeah.
I believe. You know, but
Class.
yeah, cool. So yeah, so you said so you have more of those then, right? You have like the early Frankenstein version one.
Yes, the black and white Van Halen 1 version of the Frankenstein, and I have a star.
Mm-hmm.
I've also modified both of those guitars. I've put German Floyd Roses on both those guitars um, with brass blocks on them. I've since made the star look like the one that Eddie played on this past tour with the red D-tuna as well. Um, and the brass block as well. I think on that guitar, on both guitars, I also have titanium saddle blocks, which I don't. Do I have them in here? Yes, I also
Yeah.
have them in here. Let's see if I can. Can you see they're kind of silver-like?
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are titanium. And the reason I went with titanium, I like them because after a while, if you're using the regular ones, they get dented from the strings, and they no matter how much you tighten them, the strings can pop out. With the titanium, it'll never dent, and they don't break. The regular black ones tend to break. If you over tighten them, they will break. These won't break,
Mm-hmm.
or I haven't heard of any cases of them breaking. So they better not.
I don't. Oh, you mean yours?
Yeah,
The titanium ones? I
yeah.
don't think I've ever broken one of the regular ones.
Oh, I have. I've over tightened the back screws so much on some of them that they actually crack.
Hmm.
I've learned not to over tighten anymore, but in the past I've over tightened. You just go one little click too much and they break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can actually hear like the screeching. Sometimes it's like you hear it and it's like, uh-oh,
Yep.
what's going on?
Mhm.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're cool guitars. Really cool guitars. I first played them at NAMM in 2013, I believe.
Mhm.
Was that when they were introduced?
Yep.
The Stripe series, you know. And one thing, a lot of people, get mad because a lot of these guitars, particularly the Star one that you have, they aren't identical
Right.
to Eddie's,
Right.
and these guitars, I don't think they were ever made to be Eddie replica guitars. They're just like Stripe series Van Halen
Right.
tribute
Mhm.
kind of guitars.
Mhm.
You know.
Well, here's the there are differences in all of these guitars from the original ones. The
Hmm.
cool thing about this guitar is that the striping scheme on the front is exact. The only thing that's different, well, the striping on the back of this one is different from the original, and the color yellow. This is a brighter yellow than the original one. The original one is more mustard, like Goulden's mustard color, where
Hmm.
this is a brighter yellow. But the striping scheme on the front is exactly the same. So that's cool.
Hmm.
But and this is close. The back is close to what the original one is, but it's not. There are a couple stripes missing on this one, and a couple that are in the wrong spot. But it's pretty close.
Hmm. Hmm. And the front of that guitar, or the original black and yellow or whatever, that's basically pretty much. I mean, it's similar to the striping of the Frankenstein, right? You know, when it was white,
When it was white, yeah, it's
when it was
very
white and
similar.
black.
Yeah, it's without the little seagull that's here.
Hmm.
But yes, it's very similar. It's got a lot of the same striping on it as the original black and white. Yep.
Hmm.
Like this whole, these stripes here are the same. This area here is the same.
Hmm. Hmm. And of course, some of that, you never saw because there was a pickguard,
Right.
on the black and white
Hmm.
version.
Yep.
And then when he painted it red, he added all kinds of other stuff, made it, totally different. He totally changed that guitar up because he didn't want it people were copying, you know,
Yeah, they were copying the black and white and this one.
the black and white, and that one.
Charvel had there are different stories, whether there's 20 of them or 100 of them. I don't know. It's either 20 or 100. I'm not sure for certain. That were made in 1982. And Eddie finally sent a cease and desist for them for making them. So, I mean, they're all different. They're all different striping patterns, but they're all black and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But
That guy that you like got one. That blues guy,
yes,
right?
yeah. Oh, Joe Bonamassa, yes.
Yeah, he got one. And
he owns one. Yep, he owns one of those.
one of those guitars,
and he actually played it on his tour. I think it was early 2015 or late 2014. He actually used it on some shows on one of his tours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and so that's from the same batch or the same run of guitars, like kind of like the one that's up for auction.
Yeah.
Right. There's one.
There's one up for auction now that they're trying to get $60,000 for.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a bit rich, and I really don't know if it was really ever Eddie owned. I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there is, footage of him playing a black and yellow in 1982 at home, and whether that's the same one right now, I don't know. I'm sure somebody watching this can chime in the comments below and tell us if it's the same guitar or not. I'm thinking it might be though, but
I put my trust in you, Johnny. If you think it is the guitar, then I'm wrong. But
I might be wrong too. So
who knows? But anyway, that's the EVH brand Stripe Series guitar.
Yeah, and there's different ones. There's a red one.
I love them all. I think they're great. I think with the setup of your choice, they can be great guitars, and I love all three of mine. And that's coming from a builder who makes them. So I love them. They're great. Thanks. Kudos to Eddie Van Halen and the EVH Gear company.
Yeah, they're awesome guitars. I love using mine. I use mine for guitar lessons. For lessons on YouTube, and that's one of the reasons I got it. To use it for that stuff, and like I said though too, this particular one, I can go out and play it and not be labeled an Eddie Van Halen guy.
Oh yeah,
or whatever.
Unfortunately, I can't. I don't have the same luck with this.
Well, you could go out with that Star guitar. Not everybody knew about that guitar.
Maybe.
They would just call you some like metal dude.
Maybe you're right. Yep. Hey, listen, I have to cut this short. I'm sorry, but I have a couple things that I do have.
Oh yeah, you got to go. Yeah, I got to go too. I got some.
Maybe a little later on this evening we can do another one of these. Maybe we can talk about the Rasta guitar, or whatever you'd like to talk about, Johnny.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, well, cool. Hey, great talking to you, David, as always.
Awesome.
And hey, subscribe to David Nesdahl on YouTube.
Thank you.
I'll put his link below, and you can see all his videos of him playing all these. Is there a video of you playing that guitar on your channel?
Not yet, but I'm going to work on that maybe this week. It's going to snow here the next couple days. I'll do it this next couple days.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So hey, great talking to you, man. And yeah, we'll do another one of these things. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, share, all that good, cool stuff. And hey, cool. All right, johnnybeane.com. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.